I've decided I need to up my composting game. About a year ago, I think, I made this lovely, rich compost here, and it is delightful. I've been using it in the garden a bit, but I've just got this one compost bin, and I really need to improve what I'm doing with composting because we can use so much more of it. I can never have too much compost. In the past, I've piled up rice straw, buffalo manure, and other organic matter and just kind of left it sitting and let time do its thing. But now I really want to focus on speeding up the process. So I'm going to build 3 compost bins. I've chosen an area just on the other side of the shed that we've leveled, and I think it will be an ideal location to really start making a lot more compost for our lovely garden here at Suanstock Homestay. This is the area here that I've decided that I'll put the compost bins. I'll make 3 bins that are roughly a cubic metre each. I'm going to build them with cinder block. We've got some spare cinder blocks lying around. I've got some cement, I've got some sand, so that'll be a good little building project for me. So I'll put them just in this area here. You can see we've got a large pile of rice straw that we bought recently after the rice harvest, and this will be the bulk of the compost. I'll also use some of the bamboo leaf litter that's lying around on the ground. We've got plenty of that at the moment, and I'll supplement it, add to it all the green compost that I can get, so lawn clippings and scraps from the kitchen and from the garden, and possibly purchase some buffalo manure and add that in as well, because that really helps to make a beautiful rich compost. And then I'll add biochar and our photosynthetic plant food that we make, and whatever else that I can think of that will add to the compost to make some rich food for our garden. Yesterday evening I spent a bit of time watering the ground here to hopefully soften it up so I can get some footings dug. Let's see how well it's worked. I've dug out the footing, and now I'll set my level and start mixing some concrete. I've also added some steel to my footing. It's always good to add a little steel when you're pouring concrete. I got my footings done the other day, so now it's on to some block work. Wish me luck. I've never done much of this, so I'm hoping it'll go okay. It's a pretty simple little job, so it's a good one to practice on. I had to take a bit of a break the other morning because it just got too hot. It had taken me longer than I'd anticipated to get that beginning of my block work done, because unfortunately my footing wasn't level, wasn't quite as level as it needed to be, so I've just added a bit more concrete underneath those blocks to prop them up and to lift them up, and so now I've got my first, or most of my first layer down. That's nice and level, and let me see how much we can get done today. Well, I got my block work done. It's pretty good. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm happy with it. It's going to do the job that it was intended for, and it'll look okay. I know that if I'd slowed myself down and paced myself a little bit and broken it up into maybe 1 or 2 more sessions, I could have done a better job. So I'm making a note of that. Don't be in a rush, Kevin. You don't do things this well when you're in a hurry. But they're compost bins, so it's cool. One thing I will do though is to put a finish over the block work. I'm a bit concerned because the cinder blocks that I've used, or some of them, are pretty old and very porous, and realise that one of the batches of blocks are very low quality. I didn't realise before that there's different qualities of cinder block, but there you go. I had 2 lots from other jobs, and one of them that we've been given is not really very good. They're very porous and very soft. So I will layer the outside with like a stucco finish, but it'll be smooth, like the rendering on our home. So here they call it a cement scrub. And that's going to do 2 things for me. It's going to help strengthen the walls, and it's going to make them look nicer. I know it's just a compost bin, but this sort of finish is something that I've tried once and didn't do a very good job. So I've done a bit of research, I've had a bit of a look around to see what I can learn, and I think my compost bins will be the ideal place for me to practice this, because if I mess it up, nobody's ever going to really see it. The main thing being is that it's going to be a great place for me to practice this technique. So let's get on with it. I'm just on the last legs now of adding the plaster to the compost bins. I added some colour that I'd had left over from the pizza oven, so that sort of changed the tone of it a little bit, made it a little bit more closer to nature, I hope, rather than the cement grey. Anyway, it's taken a while and we're getting there. We're just about done, and then soon I'll be filling them up with all of the bamboo leaves and the other compost, the rice straw and the lawn clippings and other things that I've got around here. So there it is, 3 compost bins. I'm really happy that this little job is finished. Well, it turned out not to be such a little job. Adding the plaster made it quite a bit of a bigger job than I thought it would be, but I'm happy that I've done it, and now I'll get to work filling a couple of them up. If you'd like to take a look at a video about the compost we made last year using our bamboo, check out this video here. And thanks for watching another Sew and Sock Homestay video.